Okay, so imagine a world that's been torn in two by a really, really old feud. You have two sworn enemies, and they get bound together by a prophecy that could either be their ultimate salvation or, their total doom. Today, we are diving deep into the epic fantasy romance Starbound Hearts, the Lunar Pact. Literally, the entire story hangs on this one ancient prophecy. And look, it's not just some poetic line, right? It's the one and only glimmer of hope in a world that is just teetering on the edge of collapse. It totally sets the stage for a solution that is as desperate as it is dangerous. So, to really get the stakes here, we first have to understand the conflict that's fueling this whole world. And this isn't your classic good versus evil story. Nope, this is about a magical balance that has been completely, catastrophically broken. So on one side, you've got the lunar clans. They live in the sun-drenched Silverwood. Their magic is tied to the moon, and it comes out as this incredibly powerful healing light. Then, on the other side, you have the shadow clans. They live in a land without sun, but here's the thing, they aren't evil. They're masters of darkness, and they wield it as a protective force. For generations, these two peoples have been kept apart by a broken treaty and a whole lot of fear. But now, something terrible is happening. A deadly curse is killing the children on both sides. It's this mysterious sickness, and the worst part? Even the powerful magic of the lunar clans can't touch it. So you know this isn't just some plague, it's something way, way worse. And this, right here, gets to the heart of the whole problem. This curse isn't an act of war, it's a consequence. The world's magic is just fundamentally out of whack. And why? Well, generations ago, the Lunar Elders, driven by fear, stole sacred herbs from the borderlands, and now the shadow is taking something back in return, and the most innocent are paying that price. Which brings us to the only real hope left for anyone, the prophecy of the Lunar Pact. It's this ancient, forbidden piece of magic that offers a solution that is, honestly, just as terrifying as the problem itself. So, the prophecy calls for a magical binding, a union between the heirs of the two clans. You have Elara Moonwhisper, a lunar healer with incredible power over light, and Kael Darkstorm, the Shadow Prince, who carries the weight of his people on his shoulders. But this is not just an alliance or some political marriage. We're talking about an irreversible merging of their actual souls, all to restore the balance. And when Kael finally confronts Elara, he drops another bombshell. The stakes are even higher than she thought. See, he's not just trying to save his people, he's trying to save himself. His entire bloodline is cursed, forcing him to transform into a mindless, savage beast during the day. It's this personal torment that makes his search for a cure so urgent. Okay, so what do? Children are dying. There are no other options on the table. Elara agrees to the pact. And that decision leads them to this incredibly dangerous ritual, one that once it starts, cannot be stopped. Now, what's so cool about this is that the ritual isn't just about saying some magic words. It's a whole 4-part magical ordeal. They have to mix their blood, drink these elixirs that are literally poison on their own, speak ancient binding vows, and then, bam, they're thrown into a magical trial to prove they're even worthy. If they fail, they get consumed by the very magic they're trying to control. And during this spiritual trial, they come face to face with the source of the curse itself, their ancestors, a shadow king and a lunar queen whose tragic, failed love is what shattered the world's balance in the first place. But here's the key. Elara and Kael succeed not by fighting the past, but by healing it. They choose partnership where their ancestors chose conquest. So, they do it. The pact is sealed, the curse on the land is finally broken, the children are all healed. But an incredible act of forbidden magic like this, yeah, it comes at a staggering and very immediate cost. The sheer amount of raw power needed to heal the land is so immense that it nearly kills both of them. It's this soul-searing pain that they only manage to survive by sharing the burden through their brand new bond. It proves from the very first second that they can only get through this new reality together. But their fight is so far from over. In fact, you could say it's just getting started. Healing the curse actually creates powerful new enemies who see their union not as salvation, but as an abomination. So instead of peace, what they get is pure political chaos. The corrupt elders from Elara's own clan declare her an exile. A hardline war chief from Kael's side decides to lead a rebellion against him. And extremist factions, the ones who actually benefited from all the division, they start rising up. because they see this new union as a complete betrayal of their traditions. But right in the middle of all the political turmoil and the threats of violence, something really unexpected starts to happen. Their magically forced bond, it blossoms into a genuine, chosen love. This isn't just about a prophecy anymore. This is about two people choosing each other, and that solidifies their alliance on a deeply personal level, just as their enemies are closing in. So this all comes to a head 2 months later, under the eerie light of a blood moon. As they're trying to build this new integrated settlement for both their peoples, their enemies finally make their move. And in a really terrifying twist, the Shadow Rebels and the Lunar Extremists, they actually form an unholy alliance. I mean, think about that. They put aside their hatred for each other to focus on one shared goal: destroy Elara and Kael and shatter the fragile peace that they represent. So there they are, outnumbered, besieged. Elara and Kael have to stand as one. Their combined power, now a perfect blend of shadow and moonlight, is the only thing protecting their followers and this fragile new world they are trying so hard to build. Facing just impossible odds, they come up with this final, desperate, maybe even crazy plan. They decide they're going to perform the ritual again, but this time on a massive scale. They're going to try and extend its power to unite all of their loyal followers in one shared magical bond, basically betting everything on the hope that unity is stronger than hate. And the story leaves us right there on a total cliffhanger, making us wonder if this incredible act of faith can actually work. Is their partnership and the powerful love it's built on really strong enough to survive this rising tide of hatred? Or will it just be consumed by the very darkness it was meant to heal?